Good morning, good morning. It's my last day ever of being a teenager. And I'm speaking quietly because my roommates are sleeping. I thought it would feel like different day or something. But like most days, it kind of just feels like nothing. Today's not gonna be very fun. My actual birthday tomorrow is gonna be really fun. And today, I need to get everything done off of my list that could possibly cause me any stress. Yeah, anything to take away the fun of my birthday. So I need to do everything today. I have an essay I need to finish, which is good because it was due today anyway. I have an exam I need to take, and I should probably catch up on my other 2 classes. Also, I'm going to I didn't do my laundry yesterday, or I didn't throw it in the dryer. So I'm going to have to be wearing damp underwear today. Trying to get that tank top on underneath with the brain power I'm running right now. Hardest task on planet Earth. I'm about to lose my mind. I'm so confused as to why there's barely any coffee in here. Why did it take some off the top? Did it get eaten by the Keurig? Did it get absorbed into the fungus and the coral in there or something? Where did it go? Because that thing was full when I put it in there. What made me think that this semester I should take another 9 a.m. class, and this time at 9 a.m. with attendance, where I genuinely get docked marks if I do not show up on time? Which is such a stupid point to make, where it's like, God, I hate going to the classes that I pay thousands of dollars to go to. Yes, I do, okay? Because I think the classes themselves are pretty much useless for the most part, okay? Obviously, that's really a negative way to look on it. And they're not useless. I'm a little bit sick of the past decisions that myself made, because I do not want to drive freaking class right now. And also, it's annoying. I think what I really miss when I lived on campus, and even if I had 9 a.m.s, I'd have time to go to the gym in the morning, and that is something that I miss so much. I miss consistently going to the gym in the morning. It's literally not even that big of a deal. I still go to the gym, I'd say, as consistently as I did last year. And this year, I'm giving myself more rest days, which I notice I feel like is making me have more progress, but I also can't really tell. It's kind of hard, but it's so subtle. I miss going to the gym in the morning because that's when the gym's actually fucking usable. Oh my God, people be lining up for the fucking equipment. And at first it was definitely anxiety. I liked going to the gym when it was empty because it was I don't want people to judge me, whatever. At this point, it's purely practical. It's no, I want to use the equipment when I want to use the equipment, and the fact that all these people are in the way is gonna drive me insane. But you know what? Well, this is teenage. This is a teenage mindset I'm having. I'm complaining about going to school. This is a classic high school kind of moment. I'm turning 20 soon. This should be one of the last days I ever have this. Certainly not. Certainly not. I know that for a fact. But I'd like to believe that this should be one of the last times I think this way. Okay, I need to practice gratefulness, mindfulness, whatever the fuck. And also, by the way, fuck everybody who drives to their university, their college, whatever, for 9 a.m.s at 8:30, 8:45. Fuck you, because everybody else is doing that. Oh my God, driving into there before 9 a.m. is actually some kind of sick, twisted, hellish experience, okay? Do not want to do that. It is 8:15 right now. It'll take me 15 minutes to get there. I'll be there just in time. Hopefully, the parking lot that I pay $400 to get into better be empty.
I need to calm down. Everything's fine.
Amanda.
I'm an adult.
I'm actually in a very good mood today. I'm just being dramatic. There's something about being in the car that can really fuel this anger in me that I don't really even know if it's real. I just like being yelling angry. The road rage, a lot of the time it's very genuine where I'm actually annoyed about something, but then most of it is just for fun. Is this road rage aesthetic or something? I don't know. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I should probably get to class now, so. But do I even go to the gym? Okay, my earbuds are gone. I'm tired. I've been at school since 8:30 and it's 4 o'clock, and I'm hey, it's actually almost 4:30. That's a full 8-hour day. I don't need to be here any longer, right? I don't need to be here. Don't mind me just scratching the lens while I'm supposed to be filming. I feel bad. It's literally so grained in my brain. Like I feel like I feel just like a little bit off if I don't go to the gym. Like, which is such a beautiful thing. Brains are amazing. Like the neurons are probably so like strengthened in like some part of my brain that it's like, whoa, you're not turning me on right now. I'm literally not turned on right now. I've never been less horny in my entire life. That's what the neurons are saying. I should probably go home. Are all the hot people leaving campus? Like, what the fuck? My jaw's dropped multiple times. I'm like, oh my god. I think the sausage farmer jobs are catching up to me. Because I've had so many, like probably once every day this week. Eating real food is hard. Making real food for yourself is very difficult. But for my birthday, I'm doing an anything but clothes theme. I want to do a costume that is paper towel and toilet paper toga. Because I think that'd be fucking awesome. And also creative and never been done before. Probably been done before, but I want to try it. But I kind of, like, I'm not that much of a whore, especially since it's my birthday and it'll be like just a bunch of friends there. So I'm going to wear shorts underneath. It's not an actual, I'm not getting the full Greek toga gay experience. I know. I love Greeks. I love how gay they were. I love the Greeks. I can't do that. I love the Greeks. I was getting it there. I love the Greeks. I love how gay they were. Was that good? I need to smoke or smoke something for another decade and then maybe I'll sound just like him. I love the Greeks. I need to go thrifting. That's what I'm saying. There's about 30 different things not connecting up here. And my stomach's not helping. Holy fuck. I think I'm about to give birth, guys. I think I'm finally due. I don't know what gender it is yet, but what are some of the most teenage possible things I could do for my last day of being a teenager? It's talking shit in a parking lot for some reason instead of anybody's house. It's eating fast food, specifically iced coffees, but I know I'm getting old because I'm like, it's 4 p.m. I can't have an iced coffee. I'm sorry to inform my future self, I can't have a nice coffee. That might not stop me. And also, I shouldn't spend the money on fast food. But that might not stop me. I'm a teenager still. I'm going to make stupid little decisions because I'm a teenager. And then also, thrifting. That's the big thing. And that's what I was talking about the costume for. I want a white pair of shorts to go underneath this costume so that it blends in a little bit. That's the goal. Let's go thrifting. Let's go golfing. Hey, let's go golfing. Good God, is parking a fucking foreign language to people at Valley Village for some reason? Anyway, I need to go thrifting. I have a nosebleed and I have a stomachache. So this is perfect. Plus the thrift store air. I might die. We'll see what happens. Last thing I have to do today. I have an essay due at midnight and it's 8 p.m. And like the rough draft is done. And the rough draft isn't that bad. So I might just... I just don't want to do any more thinking. And also the stomach thing spiraled out of control. I don't know if I'm ever eating fast food ever again. Like it all came to bite me in the ass tonight, which is weird because I didn't even eat that much food today. So this is a backlog. Sorry, I need to. But I also wanted to film myself doing this because I've heard horror stories. Okay, horror stories of people being accused of using AI to write an essay, which is fair. Fuck AI. But being accused of writing an essay with the AI when they actually didn't. And I'm like, I'm a little bit paranoid now. Because I'm like, what if they put it through some stupid ass AI detection thing and it says I did it with AI? When right here, look, I have the documents. I have the planning documents. I'm going to film myself writing this essay for a bit to show, no, I did actually write this myself. If that happens. I probably won't. But, this day and age, you can never be too careful. Okay, so admittedly, it has been a few months now. Just to summarize the rest of my last day as a teenager, I had an absolute crash out because I thought the essay wouldn't take that long and then it ended up taking way longer than I thought. And then like my laptop died, so I went to my computer and I couldn't find it. It was the worst, it was not fun. I submitted it at like 11:50 p.m. 3 minutes left before the deadline. It was crazy. And now, a couple months into being 20, few differences I've noticed. Just overall brain development, getting smarter, appreciating things. Boring. Oh my god. I started wearing glasses more. Like, I have glasses. I'm supposed to wear these. Like a fucking nerd. I look like a fucking nerd. No, I actually don't mind. I'm getting used to it more. I'm not wearing them right now because you can see my ring light in the camera. Which is also, I remembered that existed. You guys have just been exposed to my shitty ass lighting for a great amount of time. I wanted to go back and do a bit of reflecting on each of my years of being a teenager, now that I am completely outside of it, now that I've reached unk status officially. Because I think a lot of people, I think especially, you know, the way that like popular media portrays it, social media, whatever, a lot of people, at least I know I feel this, feel like their teen years are wasted, or like they don't go anywhere, or like you don't use them as best as you could, because it is kind of this fun period in your life where you have like maximum freedom in some ways, with like, or like the most amount of freedom you could ever get without the responsibility of it. I think that's what makes it so great. But I feel like a lot of people always feel like disappointed by it. They feel like it doesn't go places they want it to. Especially like for me, I was so delusional. I wanted my life to be a Netflix rom-com so badly. But it did not end up being like that. Okay, it was not a coming of age movie with indie alt music and standing up at the back of a pickup truck with your arms out. Like, it was not like that. But that doesn't mean it wasn't like so foundational to where I am now. And I kind of went back to each of my years of being a teenager, like 13 to 19, and I was thinking, okay, what are some things that me at that age would be absolutely shocked to hear that I can or like do often now? I don't think of like my progress like that, but it's like, no, actually I've done a shit ton of stuff, and it took like a lot of years to learn how to be like an adult and a functioning person and like happy with my life. So I wanted to go over that a bit briefly. Obviously, like there's more personal, way more personal stuff I could talk about, but I think generally I just want to show like you as the viewer should also take the time to reflect teenage years and what you could have possibly learned from them. And so think about when I was 13, when I was in 2018, which by the way, wasn't that yesterday? What do you mean? What do you mean that was 7 years ago? One of the biggest things for me when I was 13 is I literally did not think I would ever make a guy friend in my entire life. I lived in like a small ass town. I was like the only gay guy within like 100-mile radius or something like that. I have no idea. You never know. And I wasn't even out at the time, but like I had this hidden queerness that like made me like stick out from everybody, and I could never really fit in with anybody, especially guys. I always had my girlfriends. I always had the girlies. They're always there. But the guy friends were never ever really around. Besides like my brothers, I did not make guy friends at all. And now I literally hang out with guy friends most of the time, which is crazy to me. I did not expect that to flip around. I'm so grateful that like I get that, because it doesn't even sound like that big of a deal. And in some ways it isn't. I think it was definitely like a bigger deal in my head than it is in real life. Like having a guy friend isn't really any differently than having a female friend at all. They're all friends. All the dynamics are going to be unique in their own way, but also have a lot of like shared things among. It's not going to be different. But the fact that I never had one, it felt really nice coming to university and like I made a bunch of guy friends. I mean, that obviously comes with like changing where I am in the world, but I also think it's my achievement. Okay, I can own that one. Okay, I reached out to people. I made my friends through work and getting to know people and taking the time and effort. So I'll give myself credit for that. When I was 14 in 2019 was a crazy year for me. And at that time, I literally never thought I would ever come to terms with liking men, or being interested in guys, anything like that. I did not think that was ever going to happen to me. I was like, no, I'm just going to have to pretend to be some way like my entire life. I just kind of like was accepting that, and it kind of drove me a little bit crazy. Also, the amount of crazy that any 14-year-old has, but you know, add a little sprinkling of that, add a little fruity seasoning, you could say. It's also like crazy the way that just overall I'm like way more outgoing and forward with people. Something I did not expect to have, especially because like that was the first time in my life that I had ever like moved somewhere. And now that like university is also moving to a new place, but it's obviously very different versus at 18 versus 14. And I was just like so surprised that I was like capable of like making friends and meeting people. And 2020, when I was 15, yes, I was 15 during COVID, and now I'm an adult. So what does that make you think? How does that make you feel? There's a lot of stuff that went down in 2020. I never thought COVID would end. I never thought this drama I had with people would end. not only am I like repressing these feelings I have for men, but I also no longer have any friends, and I'm not socializing, and I'm not meeting any new people, and I'm not doing anything. Especially just like self-love and self-worth. Way better than back then. It was crazy. And then that kind of bled into being 16 in 2021, because that was still COVID. It was crazy. And then driving made me so anxious, so much. Like, I think it makes anybody anxious, but like, especially for me, especially since I had some friends who made up rumors about me in school. You know who you fucking are. They made up rumors about me that I was a bad driver, even though I hadn't driven that much because I was, 13 at the time. Genuinely, then people would tease me about driving all the time. Because also, I grew up in a very rural area where everybody already knew how to drive because they're just driving like tractors and trucks and shit around their farms or whatever. Now I have a license and a car. Also, that was the first time I ever got a job, was when I was 16. And it's crazy to look back on it now because I literally had, I think, 7-hour shifts 4 times a week. That seems unbelievably manageable to me now. That's all I had going on. Obviously it sucked though because I couldn't drive. So I was like, I kind of relied on other people for rides and stuff. It wasn't that serious. Like, it wasn't that bad. But at the time, it felt like the end of the fucking world. Those 7-hour shifts were the longest things on planet Earth. And now I work an 8-hour shift and I feel like nothing. I'll be at the university for 12 hours and it goes by like nothing. Like, it's crazy. Now we're going to 2022. That's when things started picking back up again. 2022, legendary year. Also, I just felt like finally I hit that point where like I got a lot more confidence. I made queer friends, and that was what was so beautiful. I mean, I had supportive friends, but there's something about meeting other people who had similar experiences to me and were also like queer and accepting, and it was just definitely at the time I was still like nervous about university and thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna make friends, I'm not gonna be able to live on my own. But at the same time, I kind of described myself in 2022 as a beta version of myself now. As in, it feels like ever since then, that's who I've been. I've definitely changed since I was 17, but it just feels like I haven't changed so significantly. Like, I've just been building off that foundation ever since. 2023, 18, which was somehow 2 years ago now. What? I was, kind of going back to the little thing where, like, I never thought I would have fun in university. I was worried that I was going to drop out or fail or not be able to make it, or I had so much imposter syndrome. Still kind of do. And I also thought that life was going to feel the exact same, and life being too similar for me was kind of driving me a little bit crazy. But no, it was unbelievably different. It opened my mind in unbelievably different ways. So I don't know what. There was nothing to worry about. That's all I could say. And then last year, I was kind of genuinely, one of my things was because 2022 was such a good year, and I had like one of my favorite jobs of all time. I was like, I'm never gonna find a job like that ever again. Jobs are gonna drive me crazy. They're gonna make me miserable all the time. But then I did. I found some jobs over the summer last year that like made me really happy. I loved them. They're so fun. I also started like picking up views on here, which is crazy. That was almost a year ago. Anyway, okay. It's okay. Let's move on from that. I also like learned a lot about being an adult. And at the time, I never thought I'd be able to like live on my own and take care of myself and do anything good for myself. But I've gotten to a decent point. Still can't meal prep to save my goddamn life. That was me at 19. There's also this huge... There's an embarrassing thing that I got over. I'll say that. I never thought I was going to get over it. I never thought I was watching Better Call Saul. And there's that one line in that show where it's like, one day you're going to wake up and brush your teeth and, get ready for work. And you're going to realize you haven't thought about that thing at all. And that's when you realize that you can't forget. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful message. Really, in the show, it's in a completely different context than it is in my situation. My situation's not that serious. I think that's about everything. It's not technically my last day of being a teenager anymore. I am recording this on March 24th, 2025. It's almost been 2 months into being 20. So far, it's been good. I do feel like just out of this anxiety, I'm starting to notice when my body feels sore more, but I don't actually think it's changed. Oh my god, that's actually freaking me out. Excited for the future. I'm excited. I have lots of content for you guys. Please just wait. Please just wait. Please. I am working on new stuff, okay? Let it cook. Let me get through university. University is whooping my ass. Oh my god. I hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.